Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. Every day. We do it our own way. Sing it out every day. Yeah, let's make it a good day. Every day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, here's Jason.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Boy, this is my son, Elliott. There he is. Hi, sweet boy. Hi, sweet boy. People haven't seen you since you were a puppy. That's right. Oh, yes. I love you. Do you want to say hi to the audience? Nope. Okay. Yeah. Now, a little bit late. Now, we have a side-by-side. Now, the last time Elliott was here was about a little bit ago. Well, a couple months ago. And, I'm oddly wearing exactly the same thing. That's really weird, actually. I did not plan that. But, that's when the day after we got him, he's obviously a little French bulldog. And, now he's about 7, 8 months old, aren't you? And you're just a little pill, aren't you? You're just a little pill. He's here today because our guest for most of the hour, you love her, our dog expert, Katie K9 will be here a little bit later. Yeah. I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. Elliott, should we go see Aunt Fallon? We should. Give it up for Fallon, everybody. Look at that. Hi, little man. Hi. What are you doing? You can't get on Daddy's desk. I'm sorry. You can't. Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I have a puppy. I'm good.
Very good, right? He's a little, it's so funny. And I'll ask Katie K9 about, my other Frenchie, Mr. Big, was very, very calm. This is definitely not Elliott. Elliott is very much not overly calm, but
you don't say.
He's very vocal.
He snores like me, so I really relate to him. We both snore a lot when we sleep.
Yes.
I told Colin to get a mouth tape. That's been working for me. So, yes.
Frenchie mouth. He actually is sitting very nice for you. He likes his Auntie Fallon. That's right. Hey, this happens from time to time. We have a special group in the audience. Audience, give it up for Brainerd High School, everybody. Their media department. Look at that.
Right here.
Yeah. You are looking. Oh yeah. Send Elliott's back to Colin. There you go. Yeah, Elliott will be back a little bit later. You're looking. That was America's future right there. That's the.
Thank goodness. It's right here in the room with us.
Right, exactly. It's there. The TV class, media class, and they. Andy teaches the class. Andy used to work here at our home station. There he is, right there. Great guy. There we go. Andy's a great guy, worked in this building for many years, and now he's teaching the future.
That's beautiful.
Right?
So you need to watch yourself today. Okay?
Exactly, I know.
Pull it back a little
bit. We both have to watch our mouths today. We have youngins in the audience.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Let's do this. Woo. We were joking before we get to the hot dish. We were joking. We were going through the show as we do, and Jeff was going through the hot dish. And there's a lot of old references today. And Jeff goes, out of all the days for young people to be in the audience, they're only going to understand 50% of our references. But we'll get started. First up, while most of us were at home in our comfy, our soft pants last night, our stories Monday night were all about stars who were sucked and tucked and squeezed into some crazy outfits for the annual Met Gala. The theme this year is super fine, focusing on tailoring black style. Rihanna used the red carpet to debut her new baby bump. Look at her. She looks great, yeah. Rihanna also, we found out, pregnant with their third child. You may remember she showed off baby bump number 2 at the Super Bowl halftime show a few years ago. I mean, look, if you're going to do a baby announcement, why not do it at the Met Gala?
Agreed,
I don't know, yeah.
Agreed.
Now, look, I don't love the Met Gala. I don't care, but I like the visualness of it. So we picked out a few of our stars that we liked. First off, 81-year-old Diana Ross. Look at her. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. By the way, this is the first time she's been at the Met Gala in 22 years. And look at her. I could not believe she's 81, everyone.
Wow.
That is 81 and looks her kids convinced her, by the way, to go. Okay, now I also wanted to talk about Madonna. Here's Madonna wearing kind of a tuxedo look, holding a cigar. Now, Now, I'm bringing up Madonna for a very specific reason. We don't age shame on this show. I don't believe in talking as someone that was bullied and picked on because I was a little fat kid. I don't like to talk about people's looks, but I am going to be brutally honest. Madonna went through a phase the last couple of years where Madonna looked like Kristen Davis from Sex and the City talked about how maybe she got too many injectables and she just didn't look like herself. Seriously, Madonna looks fantastic right now. Madonna, whatever she's doing, she looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't shame people for the way they look on this show. I think it's gross. I wanted to show her because everyone was talking about it on TikTok, and then I zoomed in on her. I'm like, she looks like Madonna. She
does. Well, you know, as we get older, obviously we lose like collagen and things in our face. So a lot of people get the fillers to have the more full looking, and then it goes too far, honestly, and then it looks puffy, like you said. And I think a lot of celebrities, you get surprised that they don't notice it because they have access to the most expensive people, right? You would think they'd be like, this is going too far, but lots of celebrities have talked about it. Courtney Cox is one. She looked in the mirror one day and was like, I don't look like me at all. And so she stopped doing it, started having them dissolved, which is a lot of celebrities are having like their lip filler and things like that dissolved to have a more natural look. And
she looks great. Gayle King wore a pink dress. Now, I got to tell you, not only was this divisive in our office, the internet was divided on Gayle. Look, I ain't gonna pick on Gayle too much. She's had a rough year. People didn't like she went to space. People got mad at her because she went into space. Look, I think Gayle looks nice. I'm not gonna pick on her. I think all of these outfits in person would be stunning.
I'm sure.
And I'm not. Look,
and some not, probably. That too. That's fine. I loved, last night I was a big fan of Doechie's. I loved Sabrina Carpenter. Kim Kardashian even looked really great. She kind of had like a Michael Jackson vibe, but I liked it. I don't know. I thought it was a very underwhelming Met Gala for me in general.
I liked it. And you know what it did? And people can poo-poo fashion and they can be like, oh, and I don't really love the Met Gala. But what it does and what it did for me and maybe for you is I looked up the theme and it was you know, focusing on dandyism, and I didn't know a lot about dandyism, and the CBS Sunday Morning did a great profile of it, and not to be all woo-woo, it did for me what I thought it was supposed to do. I educated myself on the topic, and I thought it was fascinating. So for that, I think it was a success. Next up in the dish. Yeah, it really was. Represented well. Next in the dish, just a few months after season 2 of the hit show Squid Game dropped, the third and final season, like weeks away. I thought, well, wow, it just had season 2. And Netflix released this teaser. Look at this. Game 3. One more time. As you saw there, the lead character comes back to the game. He's still alive after the rebellion effort in season 2. The new season's going to feature new competitions, some familiar faces. You saw there, it drops June 27th. Loved the first season. Must admit, I'm stuck in the middle of season 2. We have not finished it. Have you?
We did season 2, and then I think I watched half of the first episode of season 2, but too much time had passed.
Boop.
And it really, if there's too much time, man, it has to be something characters I'm super, super in love with to retry it. Kind of like The Last of Us. I was like, well, I have to go back. And then I don't know if I'll continue on with that show either. But yeah, no, I don't have any interest in season 3 of Squid Game. Sorry.
The first episode, the premiere of season 2, did not grab me, and then I'm like, well, let's try episode 2. Still didn't. They weren't even in the game. I'm like, start shooting people.
That's aggressive. But it's like,
where are the sharks eating people? I just want. That's what the game is about.
It's like Love Is Blind this season. We didn't need 8 episodes in the pods. Get them to the bar
No,
and
we
drinking,
did not.
and they're making terrible decisions.
And that's why Last of Us scares me. There was a lot of singing in the last episode. This ain't MTV Unplugged. I need fungus people attacking us. I don't need an acoustic set.
I mean, yeah, it depends on the mood, but there's always one person.
And I know why they did it. I know people in the game. It was very sweet. I know, but I'm saying.
But no.
Balance.
Balance is key, and there haven't been enough musical numbers in The Last of Us. I've been saying that for years.
We have more dish when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. There just hasn't been enough musical sequences. Welcome back, everybody. Katie K9 coming up in a little bit. We posted questions on our socials. We'll be answering them in a little bit. Welcome back. David Spade is back on stage with a new stand-up special hitting Prime Video today. He was on The Tonight Show Monday night promoting it and shared his thoughts on that much talked about Bill Belichick interview. Watch this.
Seems lovely, lovely couple, and I don't know if he's really calling the plays, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
No,
in that huddle.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but she, no.
That's really funny.
I don't care about the age difference. Fine. But I thought it was oddly, she wore something that I think it was like a big sweatshirt and maybe nothing else. Are you saving the pants for 60 minutes? I mean, honestly. And listen, he also had a very casual kind of shirt with throw up on it. You know what I mean? Did you see him? It was very relaxed. Not really the Met, but it was whatever. She's walking around like Winnie the Pooh with no pants. And so I just thought the whole thing was interesting. That's all. Just interesting.
Yeah, of course David Spade doesn't care about the age difference. That's David Spade's life.
Yeah.
He's constantly with women dramatically younger than him.
How long are we going to talk about this interview? I love it because it's just.
I think you and I should go with them for Halloween.
Oh my God, that
You
would.
see the shirt with some holes in it.
Yeah.
And I'll pop out occasionally and yell at you and say, we're not talking about that.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Get it like a dark hair wig. Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
By the way, David's special, Dandelion, is streaming now, like I said, on Amazon Prime Video. Speaking of streaming, up next, both Fallon and I were obsessed with the Max medical drama The Pit when it was airing over the past few months. Well, now work is underway on season 2. Noah Wiley, star, was on Kimmel last night and revealed just a few details about season 2. Look.
No, we start 10 months downstream. It's July 4th weekend, a big injury weekend.
Oh, that is a big injury weekend, yeah.
Imagine all the hijinks.
You guys are collecting stories from...
They're coming in from everywhere. If you've ever hurt yourself on July 4th, chances are somebody's told us about it, and we're ready to write about it.
I would imagine an emergency room on the July 4th it gets at the very core of how dumb it is to be an American.
No spoilers.
Not touching that one. Now, here we know this. The next season will follow the exact same format. If you didn't see it, each episode is an hour of the day during an ER shift. In this building yesterday, they had a little nacho party here, and
Aw, man, I missed the nacho party. So mad.
We had a little thing for Cinco de Mayo, and I walk in, and I heard someone say, two employees that I don't know, they were like, "Oh, Gloria, you haven't watched The Pit?" And I stopped her. I don't know her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You haven't watched it?" I like shamed her. I'm like, I love the show so much.
It's so good, and I can't wait for this. I really hope there's a character from Indiana, because growing up there, it was the most redneck 4th of July of all time. We would have bottle rocket fights with each other where you just light a bottle rocket and shoot at your friend. It's real fun.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Kids,
it's really
don't do that, though, please.
But I'm just saying that would end up on this episode for sure. Yeah.
It is. Fallon and I reference, if you're new to us, in one of our cities, like Texas.
Texas gets it then. Southern Indiana, they know what's up.
But we both grew up in Indiana. Oh, and plus, you're younger than I am. They really didn't care about that in the 80s. I mean, we didn't. We were all up in the fireworks. So,
obviously,
yeah.
Yes.
Next in the dish, some inside dish about one of the best movies based on a Stephen King novel. I'm talking about Misery. Remember, this is when I said the people in our audience, half of them would not get half of these. Yeah. Misery came out in '90, starring the great Kathy Bates as an obsessed fan who kidnaps her favorite author. Well, the movie came out, like I said, in '90, immediately making Kathy Bates a movie star. James Caan, right there, Jimmy Caan, played the author. Well, you will be shocked by some of the big names who turned that part down, especially considering the success of that movie. Kathy and director Rob Reiner were part of the Turner Classic Movies Film Festival and revealed all of the people who said no. Watch this.
William Hurt, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Harrison Ford, Kevin Kline, Dustin Hoffman, Michael Douglas, Robert Redford, Gene Hackman, Richard Dreyfuss. Why did nobody want to play?
You know who you left out?
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty. Dreyfuss is interesting because Richard Dreyfuss, I had offered him the lead part in When Harry Met Sally, which is the film I made before this. When Harry Met Sally comes out, a huge hit, I call him up about this, and he says, "I'll do it. Whatever it is, I'll do it." And then he turned this down. So
he turned it down. Warren Beatty. Rob right there, the great Rob Reiner, said that Warren Beatty did help them with the script. And he said they got all the way down the process. Warren approved the script. Warren added things to the script. They got done with the script. They got ready to film. Rob Reiner called up Warren and said, "We're ready to shoot." And Warren goes, "Yeah, no thanks." And passed on it, like soon before the cameras would start to roll, and then they called up Jimmy Caan, and then Jimmy did it.
Well, Jimmy Caan made the right decision, but do you think it hurt his feelings a little bit to know that they offered it to 100 people before him?
Right, yeah.
I mean, that would make me feel good. I'm like, I wasn't even like the 3rd choice. It was like the 18th choice.
They also revealed, and if you've read the book, you know, the hobbling scene. There's a horribly famous hobbling scene where Annie gets a little zealous and hobbles his legs, hobbles his foot. Rob said they were going to do a much grislier version, but they decided to cut it.
Oh, okay.
Kathy also shared a great story about winning the Oscar for Misery, something Rob said would never happen. Watch this.
You were so great when we were at the awards that night, because I remember before that you said, you can campaign, but you can't. You're not going to get it. You said.
No, I said I didn't know. I mean,
you said because it's a horror movie, and more than likely,
and they don't usually
whatever.
Yeah.
And then the night we were, I just remember you standing, and you were like, "Yeah, yeah."
Well, you deserved it. I mean, it's an amazing performance.
So great.
It is an amazing performance. Especially for our audience. If you've never seen Misery, it holds up. It's so good. It's probably one of the best Stephen King book to movie adaptations. I would dare to say probably top 3 of all of them.
I need to go watch it. If I saw it, it was one of those things where my parents didn't really monitor what I was watching as a child, probably.
Again, hashtag Indiana.
So I probably did see it, but so young that I don't remember it, because the man in the movie, to me, is the dad from Elf.
Oh, yeah. And you don't want to be scarred.
That's how I recognize him.
Yeah. Here's another story that half of our audience won't care about. Let's stick with it.
They might.
Let's stick with the early 90s when they weren't even around. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
And I was in high school. It was the biggest song of 90, featuring the three daughters of music legends. Look.
Don't you know, things can change, things will go your way. If you hold on for one more day, can you hold on for one more day?
That's right. Who can forget? Who can forget in the summer of 90, man, jamming to the song when you threw the single. That's a cassette single, everybody, in the boombox in 90. That's obviously Hold On by Wilson Phillips. Group member Carnie Wilson sat down for a really fascinating interview with Smashing Pumpkins lead Billy Corgan for his podcast. I didn't even know Billy had a podcast. And listen to this. She revealed how that song came to be. Watch this.
China took it home. And we were like, okay, we'll get together and write. But it happened so fast, and thank God it did, because it was something that she was going through with sobriety. And it was like this one day at a time. And if I could just hold on for one day and get through to the next day, then everything will be okay. And that's where...
Who knew? I've listened to that song thousands of times. I had no idea that it was about sobriety, and I really did have the cassette single. Their first album ended up selling 10 million copies, despite nearly every record company saying they would never succeed.
Wow.
Even though, like, you know, Carnie Wilson, descendant of, and then China is the daughter of Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and Papas.
Okay.
So they're all, yeah. And Carnie said fighting between the group and China wanting to be a solo artist led to their demise. New managers also tried to sex them up for the second album, which did not work because it went against who they were. It's the mistake every executive in entertainment makes. They try to change you. Carnie also discussed being bullied for her appearance back then. If you don't remember, Carnie was, look at this, Carnie was often hidden purposely in music videos or shot purposely from only the neck up. She also shared a story of what management would say to her at the time. You won't believe this.
He said to me, "What are we going to do about this weight problem of yours?" Verbatim. Wow. And I remember running into the bathroom and just sobbing.
Oh, my God.
And feeling so like, this isn't right. He wound up really apologizing for it because I said, unacceptable. Like, how you hurt me so badly when you did that. And he said, I just can't believe I said that. I am so sorry. Were you really afraid that my fat was going to make us not successful?
Carnie says she realized she had to embrace her differences and actually use them as a power. You can listen to the entire interview, and you should, on the Magnificent Others podcast. We were saying what's good, sad now. She would be celebrated for her differences. And I don't even like the word to use differences, but you know what I mean. She wouldn't be Look, there are awful people on the internet, to a degree.
Yeah.
But, yeah, to a degree.
It would be handled, hopefully, differently at now. I mean, it still isn't. I'm sure there are still plenty of females, probably males too, in the public eye that still receive that.
Lizzo.
Yes, she's one. A lot of hers was, I think, more of a social media public scrutiny than her team or her record label.
Oh, you're talking about behind the scenes people.
Yeah, behind the scenes people. You know, the person in the office who want you to look a certain way. I'm sure there are plenty of females who still get a lot of that, but it is a little bit different.
All of our, it doesn't have to be music. You and I have talked about this, even in TV. Because it's a visual medium, you're told to look a certain way, or, you know, again, I have that guy that dresses up like a potato to look like me. I mean, because he thinks I look like a fat potato. You can go ahead and laugh at that. That's fine. Yeah. That's the dish. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment. Yeah.
I always forget the potato guy.
You have pet questions, she has pet answers. Coming up in just a little bit, Katie K9 is back with us to answer your biggest dog, cat questions, including, well, it's flea and tick season. What are the best ways to fight the little critters? You're going to find out. Plus your questions when we come back. Look who's here, everybody. One of the best. Nobody's better. Well, welcome back. Here in the Midwest, spring has arrived. We're going out for outdoor walks with the dogs, letting them run around the backyard. But the warmer weather also ushers in flea and tick season, and it's important to make sure your dog is properly protected. Here with tips and more, give it up for Katie Canine, everybody. Oh. And Elliott.
Yes, don't forget Elliott.
What do you think of Elliott? Now, Katie, let me just say, Katie has trained and helped raise basically all of my dogs my whole adult life. So, yeah. What do you think of little Elliott?
Excellent. I'm so proud of you. He's not fat. You don't have a sausage.
No.
He has a waistline.
Yeah, does he? He looks good weight-wise?
Yes.
Look, now he's posing.
Yes, there you go, see? Yeah.
He's showing off for you, Katie.
You bet.
Look at my slender tush. That's what he's like. That's the pose right now. But he looks like he's a good weight.
Oh, he's awesome. Awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because it's so easy to get these short little guys so wide. And so that's why I'm so proud of you. It's good.
Okay. Let's focus. We'll talk more about him. Auntie Bjorn, you want to come get the little guy? This is his trainer.
There
I'm just
you go.
joking. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's talk about flea and tick season and dealing with this problem naturally.
Yes, I hate chemicals. If you look on the package of all this stuff, you have to have a hazmat suit to handle it, and you're putting that on your dog. And what you forget is, like when you do the spot-ons or the flea and tick collar is the worst. But anything is that every time you pet that dog, you're absorbing those chemicals. Okay, you're sleeping with those chemicals, and also you're thinking, well, with the spot-ons, well, that gets absorbed. No, that oil stays on the coat. So every time you pet, and if you got kids, you know, they're hugging and kissing, they're getting all those chemicals. And we're just too much of a chemical society, and there's so many natural ways to do it. Okay, this is one. This is called diatomaceous earth. Okay?
I'm sorry, what?
Diatomaceous earth.
Okay.
Food grade. Okay, it looks like powdered chalk. Okay, and what it does, you put it in a baby sock, and what you do is you're going to pat, just one pat like in the chest, one pat on the shoulder blades, one where the butt and the tail come, and underneath this. And so when the flea or the tick walks through this, it scrapes their shell and they dehydrate and die naturally. And so what you do is you just put a tap like where they sleep in their bed, so in case anything falls off in their bed. And so that's why all it is once a week, just pat, pat. And you don't want to make a black dog white. Okay, so just a pat, a pat.
You don't want them to look like they just got back from Studio 54. Yeah.
And see, people take this in their coffee for parasites, if you think you got parasites. I deworm my dogs and my cats and my horses with diatomaceous earth. And so you can just look online on what's the ratio, you know, to give them. But
and where do you get that?
You can get it online. I get the organic. I buy 10 pound. You could put it on your lawn and around your house to keep ants and critters from sliding into your house. It's an awesome thing. Diatomaceous earth.
Okay.
Okay. And
next.
then now flea and tick combs. Flea combs are great for running it through under the chin. The ticks gravitate to the head. Okay, because it's thinner skin, so they can eat faster. Okay, and so under the armpits too. So you can run this through, and if you can catch a tick, not only a flea, but you can catch a tick. And so this way here, it just helps you out instead of sitting there going through like this.
Oh.
Okay. And then they do have long. See, this one has a longer tine.
Yeah.
And for a longer coated dog. Okay. So you just take your thumb, go back down, and just kind of start going through, and it'll snag any tick. Also, a lint roller.
I'm sorry, a regular lint roller?
Yep, and so you just run this over the dog, and it'll snag any of the ticks that are on the outside. They're just crawling on them right now, and so it'll snag any of the ticks. So you just kind of lint roll your dog. But anyway.
What do you do now? Let's say you do all this, and you're like, oh, combing the dog, and you find a tick.
Okay.
What do you? I've heard different. What are you supposed to do with it?
The biggest thing is everybody goes, ew.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they try to figure out, how do I get this off? You have to sneak up on the tick. Okay, what I mean by sneak up on it, too many people are futzing and fidgeting and such like that, and then the tick has, the deeper bite it has, the bigger sore you're going to have from it, and it's a wives' tale where you leave the head in the tick. No, you don't. What happens, it just had that good of a bite, so it's going to leave a bigger scab and such, but you want to get in there and just get it right away. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm not sure how, and they
don't give them time to strategize.
Well, what happens is that you stir them and they'll spew stuff back into your system by disrupting them.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. So you just got to reach in and you got to quick pull it out. And yeah, if you're a really good aim with the tweezers, that's fine. Don't put, some people say like put alcohol, you know, gin on it, or yeah.
I'm not wasting gin on a tick.
Smart man, because what it does.
Thank you. Whoever clapped for that, thank you. Yeah.
But so what happens is that when you do stuff like that, it stings the dog. You know, it hurts. Then the dog's gonna jump and the tick is still on, and I gotta start all over again. So you sneak up on the tick and get it, and just give one quick pull. And if you can't do it, find somebody that can. Yeah. Okay. Because that's huge. It really is. People dig around with it too much, and like I said, it's a wives' tale that they left the head in the tick.
Don't do that.
The bigger the scab, the deeper the tick got with humans and with dogs.
More with Katie when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. I have never heard of that powder. There's the real star of the show. That's Elliott, our Frenchie. We're back with Katie Canine. Okay, we'll get to your questions, by the way, in just a little bit. What is that?
You can take a bandana.
Okay.
Okay, and put a drop of lemongrass oil on it, because you want to make your dog or your cat a restaurant the fleas and ticks don't like, okay? And so you put lemongrass oil on it, or an eucalyptus oil. Purposely, I can't stand the smell of eucalyptus, so I use lemongrass. So you put a drop, okay, then put it in a Ziploc bag, and then when you're going to go out for your walk or whatever, then what you're going to do, put the bandana on it, and then leave them on until about an hour when you get home, and then take the bandana off and then put it in a Ziploc bag, because what you're doing is making the restaurant the smell that the fleas, ticks don't like. And see, the neat thing about natural stuff is that there's no chemicals. You can, if you're worried about it, use them all, and you'll be right on top. Now, this is the best thing ever. This is called.
It looks like something Cher would wear.
Well, hey, remember the puka shell days?
I do. Yeah, I used to wear. Yeah, I know.
Well, anyway, this is called an amber tick collar, and what this does is you put it on your dog, and it takes 24 hours for their body heat to warm these beads up. And this is a Baltic Atlantic pine from Lithuania. Thank you. Well, anyway, and what this does, it's really bizarre. It's like it makes their coat kind of staticky, and so when the flea or the tick kind of go on it, they get a shock and they don't want to go on your dog.
Let's try it on Bjorn. Come here, Bjorn. Let's put.
And so they come in different sizes. You just measure your dog's neck, and you can find them online. But you have to be careful. These are, see how they're smoky? Yeah. Okay, and you want the smoke. You don't want them polished. If they look shiny, like this collar will be done when they're shiny, then it's time to get a new collar. Okay. You leave this on 24/7.
Okay.
Okay, don't take it off. You don't hook your leash to this. This is just a necklace for your dog.
I'm thinking of what the viewer's saying at home right now. And not about that, but I'm saying in general. But you've been doing this for how long, Katie? You've been in the dog business.
Okay, I've been training dogs for 54 years.
54 years, okay.
And Katie Canine of 44 years, and I'm only 23.
So I'm setting up. So I think people at home, because we are, as you said, we are a chemical
society.
Go to the store, chemical, buy the spray kind of people.
Yes.
We are here. I'm sure people are hearing you and they're like, oh, just use this natural powder, use this necklace. And I think some people are thinking it's not going to work as well. Your answer to them is?
BS.
Yeah, thank you for not saying the actual word. But yeah, really, in your experience, all of this natural stuff works just as well. Right,
and because chemicals, they started making them more chemically, you know, worse chemicals, because a lot of the dogs and the fleas and the ticks that are getting immune to it. You know what I mean? So you got to make a better chemical to repel. And see, just like people don't realize when everybody getting their lawns ready, okay, chemicals, if you use chemicals or chem service or anything, your dog is 70% higher chance of getting some form of lymphoma. 70%, okay? And so the thing is there's natural ways to do your lawns. My poppy field, my yellow poppy field, is beautiful right now. All the dandelions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, so that's why when you do things naturally, and this year, like I say, the amber tick collar is unbelievable. It really is.
Okay.
And so that, but like I said, and then there's some sprays out there, like Wonderside. That one is a fairly natural one there. You can take lemons and cut them up, put them in 2 cups of hot water, let it boil, let it seep, pour it out, put it in a spray bottle, and it creates delimazine, so you can spritz your dog or your cat or yourself, you know, with it.
Again, we'll try that on Bjorn later. Yeah. Just lemon water.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so you got to let it seep for a while, though, you know, after it boils for a while. Usually about a half hour, an hour. And then if you don't use it all, then just put it in the refrigerator. And then, you know, strain it with cheesecloth.
Yeah.
You don't have the seeds in there.
Now, when we come back, Katie's staying around because we posted on Instagram, do you have dog questions? And I'll kick us off. If you have a vocal dog like I do now, what can you do? That and more when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Yeah, Deborah, Dexter, and Mr. Big. Welcome back. Katie K9 is here. Follow Katie online. And you can find her podcast. Search for Katie K9 wherever you get them. We're turning Katie over to you to answer some of your questions, but I'll kick us off and I'll say I have 2 children. I have a boxer, Milo, who, according to my mother, is perfect. And then we have the French Bulldog, and that's Elliott. He's vocal, and my other French Bulldog barked maybe 3 times in his whole life. Not that little sausage. He barks a lot. What do I do?
The biggest thing when you get little dogs, now my husband's a farmer, and having animals in the house was like not my house. We obviously reached an agreement.
Yeah.
But anyway, the first time I got a small dog, Gilligan, 10 pounds, he says, I'm not going to have an ankle biter barker. And I said, he won't be. And after a month of being in the house, and the reason is because I mentally stimulate him. I taught him tricks. We did obedience. When you're not using the brain, the dog has other things to dwell on and make issues of, and that's when they become barkers. Because a lot of small dogs are just lap dogs. They don't do anything with them. It's easier just
I play like Wordle with them, or what? I mean, yeah.
Go for it. But I mean, if you go to, you know, look on YouTube, I want to teach my dog to say prayers, wave, roll over. But the more you ask him to do something, the calmer and steady and other things he has to talk about or think about. And so he's going to be less barky and more. And some dogs will come up. Let's say you're sitting on the couch, and the dog will come up and sit in front of you and just stare at you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what most people do, they lean forward and go, "What? You got to go potty? You want a treat? You want to go outside?" Okay, pretty soon the dog comes up and barks again, and then barks more, and you're teaching them by giving them a reaction. So if the dog comes up and stares at you and barks at you, you don't answer it. You just got in your head, is it time to go outside? Is it But don't answer the bark. Then all of a sudden they're barking for everything. They're telling you, hello, I'm get your attention one way or the other. I'll bark at you. So if they, oh yes.
He's pretty well behaved, though, don't you think?
Oh yes, no, yeah, like oh yes.
Yes.
But start using his head.
Okay.
Most people don't. They get very
I'll train him how to make me a cup of coffee.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
We don't want him to get
Oh, that's right. Then vodka soda.
Yeah,
Okay, here we
that
go.
would be good.
Let's go to the first question from Kim. Kim writes, hey, Katie, my little poppy is scratching and licking her paws a lot. What is causing this? And I did change my food.
Oh, good. So hopefully, with the food causes a lot where we feed one thing too long, they can start building up allergies. But the thing is when they're licking their paws and such, usually you got to add the omega-3s and 6s, and you got to bump those up to get it into going. And then give your dog a bath once a week with a good shampoo, like Espana is a really good one made in Minnesota. But the whole thing is, because sometimes we wash our hair at least once a week, right? And sometimes people
God willing. Yeah.
But sometimes, like I say, it's just the undercoat, and then, like I say, you want a nice sheen to the dog's coat. But that's usually it's the food by not rotating fast enough, and then by bump up the omega-3s and 6s, and then a lot of times that will help out.
Nikki is next. Hi, Nikki. She writes, how do I get my German Shepherd adopted puppy to walk on a leash? She is 6 months old.
Come to Katie K9. There you go.
No, but obedience training is important.
Oh, it is. And you got to have the basics. Heel, sit, down, stay, come, and like I say, you just you don't work this. The dog won't come when he's called.
Yeah.
You know, and so you just got to start working. He's on.
By the way, like most of our viewers, the dog is completely bored of our show.
Yeah.
He literally just took off. He's like, I'm out. I'm done with Katie. I'm done with you. I'm going back home. Yeah. Bye, Elliott.
But yeah, like a lot of times people have been using harnesses now, you know, because they don't want to choke their dog, understandably. But the thing is, if you get the right training collar, not an electronic collar, okay, I use a couple different ones, but the thing is then they're not going to choke themselves.
Yeah.
And so then just a couple taps, and all of a sudden the dogs learn by trial and error. They do this happens. They do that happens. You know I'm not a treat trainer.
I know you're not.
And the reason is because if you got a treat, you got the dog. If you don't have the treat, bye.
Yeah.
They do a quick air sniff. You don't have nothing. I want to build from the inside. I want to build a team. And so as far as being pulled, just got to get with the right trainer. You can't do it yourself, so you have to be shown.
Yeah. So. Ruth, this is a common one. This is from, how do I get my male 6-month-old puppy to stop peeing when he meets strangers?
Okay, that's called submission urination, and they do it when they're really happy or really worried. It's not a potty training problem. And usually there's triggers.
Milo does this, and he's a year and a half.
Okay, yes, it's a confidence thing. You have to build the confidence through training, okay, and like you bend over to pick them up, they'll squat and pee, okay. So if you have a submission urinator, you sit down and you invite them, say pause up, and you want them, then you start giving them a tickle, and then if you want them up, you pick them up. But if you stand up and bend over, they duck and they pee to submit to you, like, are we okay? Are we okay? Okay, and so that's yep. So it has nothing to do with potty training. Don't yell at them for it. And then when they're really worried or really overexcited, so you have to watch for the triggers, and you have to do some training to build their confidence, and that will go away, okay? But a lot of people think it's a potty training problem.
I did.
Right, and so they yell at the dog, and it's like, now you're compounding. He's a dog that submits to you like that is so easy to train because they want to please you, okay? And so in the dog world, to be peed at is a good thing. It's like, okay, yeah, there you go.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Give it up for Katie K9, everybody. Like I said, follow Katie on Instagram. For more information, also go to ktk9.com. You can also listen to a radio show, mytalk1071.com, or wherever you get your podcast. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Thank you, Lovey. Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating in our birthday club. They get that sash. And thanks to our partner, Home Furniture. Sign up to celebrate at eventbrite.com or the Eventbrite app. And again, thanks to Home Furniture. You can come a few days before and after your birthday. Back to wrap things up right after this. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Brainerd High School, right here. America's youth. I happened to notice a piece of merch from your radio show here in the audience today.
That's right.
Right over here. Did you slip that woman a $100 bill or what?
Yes, I did. These were the misprinted shirts that cut off my radio partner's name.
No way, is that real?
We did a radio tour to get rid of the misprinted shirts. Yes, we did.
It cut off Colt's name?
I mean, I think that was like...
On purpose?
I mean, it feels like it was. It wasn't, yeah. But.
Oh my, you're right. I don't mean to stare at the woman's chest, but I'm just saying. Sorry, ma'am, I mean this in just a t-shirt way, but wow, how many of those did you print?
A few hundred. But many lovely people got a shirt for free due to it.
Poor Colt.
It worked out. It worked out.
Poor Colt.
Colt's used to this life. He loved it.
I'm sorry, Colt. I'll get a t-shirt with your name on it.
Aww.
One more time for America's youth. It's Brainerd High School, everybody. That's right. And then people my age. That's right, yeah. Hey, tomorrow adapting an American classic for comics, a graphic novelist is here showing off her comic book version of The Great Gatsby. That's tomorrow. But right now, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to this audience, thanks to you. And if you are watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Fallon and Olt.